Love Your School Day 2021. As you all see, December 17th, the last day of school before administration, teachers, kids, and families will leave for winter break. That this particular initiative of Love Your School Day will coalesce with what Together Chicago is doing in the area of what we call faith and community mobilization. Every year, and some of you all, I wouldn't be surprised if you have not engaged with this in some way. One of our team members, Doc Feuder, he spearheads an initiative that used to be called Pray Chicago, and now it's called Chicagoland United in Prayer. So that last Sunday in January before Super Bowl Sunday, we get churches from around the city of Chicago to come together and pray. One of the questions consistently is, okay, we've had this amazing prayer moment. We've called out to Jesus as it pertains to the needs that are in the Chicagoland area. But there's a sense of what more can we be doing on a more longitudinal, consistent basis to be of service to our neighbors and to our communities. And I think Brian articulated it so well a moment ago that the schools, in a very unique way, are such an amazing opportunity for us to have um, access, if you will, to the entire community, for us to be a part of shaping the future of our city. This map represents currently Together Chicago and some of our partners like GRIP, like Young Life. Where are we currently across the city of Chicago? So these pins represent where current church and school partnership and activity, or church and nonprofit partnership and activity, is taking place. I wanted to pull up this map, and I think I even have it on my slide deck somewhere. Let me try to see it. Yeah, check this out. Like, the government talks about these opportunity zones. They probably stopped talking about it because all of the money that probably was to be directed towards opportunity zones might be dried up at this point. But what's the church opportunity zone? Like, what's our opportunity in the city of Chicago? Literally, it's the entire city. There's schools, all throughout the city that have our community members in them, and churches throughout the city. And we really want to see those churches mobilize more and more of these pins on the map where churches are connecting to schools. We have the first iteration, as you all see, of the Love Your School Day. And it's right here on the flyer. We're trying to make this as simple as possible. There are just two things that we're asking the church to do on this day: to serve a meal and to pray. To serve a meal and to be available for prayer. This meal will be a meal for staff and administration, as you all see here. And if staff and or administration desire such, we're going to have some ministers in these spaces who are available for prayer. A couple of things I want to say here. Because COVID-19, the pandemic, is still a real thing, um, the way that I envision this is probably would be like a box lunch style, where people could kind of come get what it is that they need, and not a lot of like literally kind of serving people. I just deem that as wise as, and based on some of the conversation I've had, and even Brian has had with the administration, that's one of the things that they told us to be cognizant of. And then the second thing I'll say, I just had a meeting with one of our church partners who helped me to understand that they already do some things right before the kids leave, whereby they're giving gifts to kids and engaging with even the adults in particular type of ways. So Love Your School Day doesn't say you have to do this in place of. If you're already doing something on this day and churches are already mobilized in service, and or if it's not on this day, but it's in this season, we're not asking for anybody to do anything different.
This is an idea that may work for some churches, may not work for some churches, right? You may talk to a principal, and the principal's, thinks that the last day of school is going to be too hectic, and she or he would prefer it to be earlier in the week. Like we don't want to like create something that has to be done to every tittle and dot. We are simply trying to spur on an idea that hopefully is simple enough that any church could grab onto. But all this is going to have to be communicated with the principal and worked out with the principal and administration. So definitely, we would encourage every church to engage that conversation with the principal, and allow it to be shaped by the input of the principal, so forth. So I just want to add that. And then the second thing I would add is we see this as the starting line, not the finish line. Again, our hope is as churches serve school with a meal and with prayer, that opens up the door for other opportunities, whether you offer yourself as a pastor, as a minister, to come in once a month just to meet with any staff who need a person of faith to pray with, or volunteers from your church help out with before school kind of just crossing kids across streets and that kind of thing. So again, we're seeing this as a starting line of a marathon, long-term relationship, long-term race. So